Okay, now tamales need to be steamed. So I have my workstation all set up now. I added the chili sauce that I made to the carnitas and stirred that up real well. Tastes very good. Here's my masa. Here are my corn husks. They're all ready. And I have a tray here. I'm going to just put the finished tamales on before I start the steaming. Now, as I said, if you don't have a steamer, what you can use, all right, is I'm sure you'll have a double boiler in your house. You can use that. You can take a colander and put it into a large pan or pot, cook pot, and fill just to the bottom with the water because you want to steam. And these are going to steam for a couple hours, so you're going to definitely need to keep replacing the water. You could also do them in the oven with a broiler tray. If you put the tamales on the tray and water underneath and cover them tightly with foil, that's fine too, at about a 350-degree oven. And that's also how you would reheat them. Okay? All right, so let's get making the tamales. Okay, we take a corn husk. And that's a nice big one, so this is going to make a big tamale, but you don't want to make it too big. So you're going to take a spoon, put it down here, flatten it out. A little bit more because, like I said, this will be a big one. Okay, you want to spread it out a bit so that you have room to put the meat. Your masa needs to be fairly thin when it cooks. I'm going to use my fingers because it works better that way, as you see. Now we're going to take a spoonful of meat. Just put that right in the middle there. Now that's a big spoonful, so we don't want that much. Okay, you just want a little bit like that. Now we're going to roll it up. Tuck this under as you're rolling. Okay, there's one. You can tuck them and tie them if you want, but they should be fine like that. And you're just going to keep repeating this process until all of your masa is used. This is enough masa for 32 tamales. The meat, like I said, I used some of it on the sandwich the other day, so there isn't as much, so it might not make those 32, but it might be close. Spread that out. Roll it up. Whoops, roll it up. Sometimes that'll happen. Fold. And I think I'm going to use kitchen twine and tie those. Make sure they don't come apart as we steam them. And let's just keep doing this until your masa is all used up. And you started it again, sorry. I'll edit that part out.
Do it again?
Yeah. Okay, now I've got about 15, I think, of the tamales. Now it's time to load them in. We want the smaller side down and the top side up. Let's load them into the colander standing up. They'll all fit in here, so you just do that. Okay, keep lining that up. And remember, this is going to take a couple hours to steam, so you want to definitely plan ahead. The more you can make the day before, the better. Then you'll have time to eat them. And you'll also notice that, in just a minute, I'll show you, I've got a lot of masa left over because this only made half of what I expected it to make. Maybe I loaded up these tamales a little bit, but that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. I love them to pieces, and I've loved them since I was a child, so there we go. All right, now I'm going to put that cover on, put this on high, and let that steam away, and just keep an eye on your pot so that when you run out of water, you don't set the house on fire. Make sure that you got that going. Now, one of the things you can do with this leftover masa, you can freeze it, or what you could do is make tortillas. All right, very simple. Just grab a handful. All right, you make a ball, and then you're going to flatten that out nice and thin. If you have a piece of wax paper, you can take it, smoosh that between two pieces of wax paper, roll them with a rolling pin, and then when you make tortillas, you don't use oil. So if you have a griddle, great place to make your tortillas, or the best place really is your cast iron fry pan. You put that on a medium-low heat on both sides, and then you have a nice corn tortilla. You can make fresh tacos with that, and I'll be back with another recipe to do that later in the week, or perhaps next week. It's a nice chicken stuffing that goes beautifully into your tacos, and this was given to me by my friend Amanda Riley. It may not be the exact recipe, but you can play with anything. Okay? Well, I'll let you see the tamales when they're all done, and have a great day. Okay, we're going to have dessert too with our tamales. I've got some of these standalone little cupcake pans. They come with the foil on the outside, so you can stand them on a cookie sheet. And what I've done is I placed a vanilla wafer at the bottom. You can put any kind of cookie. If you want chocolate, you can put Oreo or just a regular chocolate cookie at the bottom of that. That'll serve as quasi-crust. What we're going to do is I've put 2 bricks of low-fat cheesecake cream cheese in here in my bowl, a half cup of sugar, or you could use the sugar substitute. It's up to you. That would be probably more like 1/3 of a cup. 1 teaspoon of vanilla, and I gave it a good squirt of lemon juice because I like that extra bite that comes from a real New York bakery-style cheesecake. And now we're just going to mix these ingredients together so they're nice and smooth. Won't take long in the kitchen is. Now we're going to put it on low and add 2 eggs. There we go. Whip that up. That nice and whipping. And make it pourable. Very simple, easy little cheesecakes that you can make for, it doesn't take long at all to make them. It's only about 10-minute prep time, but it does take 3 hours for them to chill, so while your tamales are boiling, this is a perfect time to make a little dessert. Alright, now we've got that. I'm going to remove the beater. Make sure that we have all that scraped off, and then we're going to pour that into our cups, and we're going to bake for 20 minutes at a 350 oven. And then when those are done and cooled, you're going to garnish them with fresh fruit. And I have blueberries and a few strawberries, so you can use that, or kiwi, or whatever kind of fruit you prefer, maybe a pineapple chunk or a cherry, that's fine. And then you're all ready to go and you have a lovely dessert.